Victoria, British Columbia. A city cradled between ocean and mountain, quiet, poetic, and mysterious. It's the kind of place where mist rolls through the streets at dawn and where every whisper feels like part of a secret. But in November of 2012, that calm was shattered because here in this peaceful harbor town, a young woman named Emma Fillipoff simply vanished. There were no screams of struggle, just silence, a silence that's lasted for more than a decade. Emma's disappearance has haunted investigators, her family, and anyone who's ever heard her story. This isn't just a case file, it's a human mystery, one filled with art, fear, compassion, and unanswered questions. Tonight we retrace Emma's final days and the trail that led her mother into a search that still hasn't ended. Emma Fillipoff was born in Ontario in 1986, a dreamer, artist, photographer, and writer. Those who knew her describe her as gentle, sensitive, and fiercely creative. She loved poetry, the ocean, and the quiet space between people's words. In 2011, she moved to Victoria, drawn by its natural beauty and artistic energy. She found odd jobs, took photographs, and filled notebooks with poems about the sea. She lived simply, sometimes renting a room, sometimes sleeping in her red van, sometimes staying with friends. She was the kind of person who felt deeply. Her mother, Shelley, said Emma saw beauty in everything, even loneliness. But as months passed, something in Emma began to shift. Her friends noticed changes, bursts of joy followed by days of withdrawal. She spoke of paranoia that someone might be following her. She'd move often, change where she stayed, began to lose weight. Shelley sensed something was wrong. But Emma, fiercely independent, brushed it off. She said she just needed space to breathe, to create, to figure things out. Still, her poetry became darker. Lines like, "I walk into the fog, but the fog doesn't let me out." In late November 2012, Emma's anxiety seemed to spiral. She called her mother several times, her voice trembling. She said she wanted to come home to Ontario, but each time Shelley tried to book her a flight, Emma hesitated. Something was holding her back. No one knows what. On November 28, 2012, Shelley boarded a flight to Victoria. She was hours away from being reunited with her daughter. But as she flew, something else was happening on the ground. That same evening, Emma walked barefoot into a 7-Eleven convenience store. It was cold, raining lightly. CCTV footage shows her wearing a loose jacket and leggings, carrying her shoes. Her expression was blank, almost detached. She bought a $200 prepaid card, smiled faintly at the cashier, and left. That was the last confirmed sighting of Emma Fillipoff. A few hours later, police were called about a barefoot woman standing in traffic near the Empress Hotel. Officers found Emma confused, nervous, but calm. They talked to her for 45 minutes. She told them she's okay. They saw no reason to detain her. And so they let her walk away into the fog. She was never seen again. Hours later, Emma's red 1993 Mazda van was found parked near the women's shelter. Inside her clothes, laptop, passport, camera, and poetry notebooks, everything she owned. Nothing appeared stolen or forced. It was as if she'd simply stepped out of her life. When Shelley arrived in Victoria the next morning, police told her what had happened. Her daughter was missing. Officially. Imagine that moment. You cross the country to bring your child home, only to learn she's gone. Shelley immediately began searching. She printed posters, talked to locals, and appeared in interviews. Within days, the entire city was covered with Emma's face. Have you seen Emma Fillipoff? People came forward with possible sightings, a barefoot woman in a park, a quiet figure near a ferry terminal, but none were ever confirmed. Police scoured forest, parks, beaches. Divers searched the cold waters of Victoria Harbor. Dogs tracked scents that vanished near downtown streets. Every lead led nowhere. Over the years, countless theories have surfaced, some logical, others strange. Theory 1, mental health crisis. Many believe Emma suffered a psychotic break or extreme anxiety. Her journals suggest deep emotional turmoil. It's possible she fled into nature to escape her fears, perhaps intending to return but never did. Theory 2, voluntary disappearance. Something she planned to vanish. Her van contained her belongings organized neatly. Was it a symbolic act? Had she grown tired of a world that felt too loud, too fast, too cruel? Theory 3, full play. A man once came forward claiming Emma was in his car the night she vanished, then later changed his story. Another alleged sighting placed her at a gas station days later, dazed but alive. Each claim unraveled under investigation. Still, possibility remains someone may have taken advantage of her vulnerability. The truth is, no single theory fits perfectly. Every answer leaves another question behind, and so the mystery lingers. Shelley never stopped searching. For years, she walked through Victoria's streets, forests, and shelters, speaking to anyone who might have seen her daughter. Locals began calling her the woman who never gave up. Each lead was followed, each rumor checked. Sometimes hope rose, then fell again. Emma's face became a symbol across Canada of the missing who are never forgotten and of the mothers who never stopped looking. It's been more than a decade since Emma vanished. There are still candlelight vigils by the harbor every November 28th. Her friends read her poetry aloud. Her family releases lanterns over the ocean. Shelley Fillipoff turned her grief into purpose. She founded a non-profit dedicated to helping families of missing persons. Her message remains simple: never assume they're gone until you know. To this day, Shelley returns to Victoria every year. She walks the same paths Emma did, past the Empress Hotel, the 7-Eleven, the shoreline. She says it helps her feel closer. Even when the answers feel far away, there's something haunting about Emma's story, not just because she vanished, but because of what she left behind: her art, her words, her kindness. They remind us that behind every missing person photo is a soul. Sometimes the scariest mysteries aren't the ones with monsters or killers, they're the ones that end in silence. Emma Fillipoff walked into that silence on a cold November night. And in doing so, she left behind a question that no one can answer. Where did she go? Was she lost or finally free? Her story is a reminder that not every mystery ends with closure. Some linger like fog on the harbor, waiting for the day the sun breaks through. This was Unheard Verdict. If you or someone you know is struggling, please reach out. And if you know anything about the disappearance of Emma Fillipoff, contact the Victoria Police Department or help Fillipoff.com. Because sometimes the verdict we never hear is the one that needs to be spoken the loudest.